Welcome to the Success Talk. And today I'm going to interview a great productivity and goal setting guru who's Gary Ryan Blair. And we are going to talk about September 22nd specifically because it's an important date since it's really the beginning of the 100-day countdown of the year. And imagine 265 days will be gone, and the only thing that matters is how you are going to use the last 100 days to finish strong. So if you want to improve your skills and get a better career, or if you want to grow your business and your expertise, then this interview is for you. Gary has cracked the code on what it takes to get 10 years worth of results in just 100 days. He really uses a non-nonsense, highly focused and disciplined approach to transform results for people all over the world. And his clientele is who's who in the areas of sports, business, entertainment, and politics. And in fact, over 60% of the Fortune 500 use his products and services to build and sustain superior performance. So what are we going to talk about today? It's the secret to rapidly and significantly increase your performance, make progress by large jumps instead of small increments, and supercharge your career and dramatically increase your earning power. Hello, Gary. Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate having you here, helping our listeners how to be more productive and reach their goals and understand the importance of finishing the year strong. So I know you're really busy, so we're going to start with the questions. So, Gary, I just mentioned the importance of September 22nd. So, can you please give us your take on its significance and why this date is so important?
Oh, sure thing. As it relates to the 22nd, this is one of those dates that comes year in and year out, and it's a milestone because it represents the final 100 days in the year. So it's a perfect time to take inventory. And the best way to look at it is this: 265 days down, 100 days to go. What are you going to do to finish strong? And what that automatically forces each one of us to do is to take a really good wholesale inventory of our performance year to date. And if we happen to be off target, below in any way, shape, or form, we've got to realize that, something has to change in our strategy and our approach. And really, in order to knock it out of the park and crush our fourth quarter goals.
That's so true. So, Gary, can you tell us why is it so important to finish the year strong?
There's a number of reasons, but here's a couple of ways to look at it. Number one, forget even just about the end of the year. Every race, every task, every project, no matter what it is you happen to be involved with, everything eventually comes to an end. So you have to decide if you're going to create a habit. And that habit is, are you going to finish everything strong? Because at the end of the day, what people really remember is how you started, the commitment that you brought to the game, but they also remember the conviction and how strong that you finished it. And we live in a society where people are good starters, but they're poor finishers. So it's very important. The other part of it as it relates to going into the next year, we have to say to ourselves, if I go into the end of this year right now slow and passive and mail it in and kind of just throw up my hands and say, well, it is what it is, you're automatically putting yourself in a really, negative position going into the beginning of the new year because you haven't built any momentum. There's no really leaping off point. You're starting from a deficit. So the single best thing for you to do in order to have a fast start is to have a strong finish.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. If we finish the year strong, it's going to propel us to start the next year as stronger as we finished the latest one. So, Gary, you created the 100-day challenge to actually help people finish strong. So, can you tell us its history, why you've created it, and frankly, do we really need another goal setting program?
Well, I wanted to create a program that worked and that was based on the best model. So let's begin with the model. Forget about even the strategies and everything else. If you turn on any game, whether it's tennis, whether it's golf, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, whatever happens to be your sport of choice, I think anybody would sit back and probably nod their head yes, affirmative to this question. But doesn't competition bring out the best? Doesn't it force you to play at a higher level? Doesn't it make you really practice extra hard? to go the extra mile, to give it your absolute best because you want to put on a superior performance. Well, that's really what the 100-day challenge is based upon, is that we operate best when there is competition, when there is some type of a challenge. Now, what are all the other things that are built into any type of a competition, a sporting event? You have deadlines because they're all going to have a certain amount of time, minutes in the game. They're also going to have a scoreboard, and that scoreboard is going to change second to second, minute to minute. This is the nature of the game. So you're constantly in a position where you could be winning and losing or tied. I mean, those are ultimately the three positions. So with that being said, the 100-day challenge really is set up as an aggressive sporting event. It is a 100-day sprint to the end of the year, and you're going to find yourself, because you're going to be taking inventory, you're going to be basically taking measurements every single day, and you'll know if you're winning, losing, or tied based on the performance goals that you set at the very beginning of the day when you crawled out of bed that morning.
Wow, that's amazing to see that the 100-day challenge can push your competitive side, because it's true, competition helps. And Gary, I know a lot of listeners out there are skeptical about the idea of getting 10 years worth of results in just 100 days. So can someone really make that type of huge performance gain in such a short period of time?
They absolutely can. I'll give you a couple of examples. There was a show on TV for quite some time. It was called Extreme Home Makeover. And what was happening is people were basically building a house in a week, which would normally take upwards to a year. If it's a large mansion, it could take multiple of years or even a decade. They were building a move-in ready house in a week. This was all about the principle of time compression, about accelerating the rate between cause and effect, about having a real strong dominant why, an esprit de corps where a group of people got together and collectively how they were able to really just shorten the amount of time it took in order to achieve that outcome. For anyone, another example, for anyone who's ever even looked at, let's say, P90X, there's plenty of videos out there to provide evidence of this, but people have gone from fat and flabby to firm and fit and fantastic and looking 20 years younger in a matter of 90 days. So it's possible. But on the other side of the equation, I think this is a really telling point. We live in a world right now where there are breakthroughs. And I'm talking about, we're looking at artificial intelligence. We're talking about self-driving cars. You start to take the time to look at everything that's going around us from the standpoint of breakthrough of technology and medicine and a whole host of different ways. The place where there's been stagnation is in people's minds, because we're operating with old, outdated beliefs. We have to start changing the questions and the paradigms in our own mind and asking ourselves, why can't I achieve 10 years worth of results in 100 days? Why can't I build this business out? I mean, we have immediate access to all the world's information. Somebody can quickly build up a mailing list and start to put money in their account as a second income stream for their family. There's so many things that could happen in a very, very short period of time, and we need to start really entertaining that thought. I know it's possible because I've seen it and I've done it myself.
It all seems to be related to mindset. So thank you, Gary, for your answer. And I have a follow-up question for you. You've explained how to compress time and results, but does your method actually make it easier to get those results? Because we know entrepreneurs and people in general are so busy. So can it really help, and is it really easy for them?
It is easy because the whole purpose, the context behind the 100-day challenge is to remove the drama, the resistance, the psychological gamesmanship that people play with themselves. So as an example, if we look at this from the standpoint of moving towards or away from your goals, I'm talking about behaviors and actions and consequences. When you engage in, let's just say, focus, execution, discipline, consistency, you name all the key virtues. Bottom line is what's happening is you're consistently moving the ball forward. You're making progress. Does it get easier? Absolutely, because you get into a natural state of flow. Your natural endorphins take over, and you're making making some really good progress quickly. On the opposite side of the equation, here's how we expand time. When you engage in indecision, uncertainty, procrastination, gossip, worry, stress, a whole host of those type of negative behaviors, what you're doing is you're pushing yourself further and further and further away from the intended goal. And the likelihood of you ever achieving it, demonstrating those type of behaviors, is non-existent. It's not going to happen. Until and unless you learn to deploy a strong, aggressive offense and move the needle consistently forward, you're forever going to live in a state of mediocrity. So the key to changing your life Yes, we talk about mindset, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the actions you take. The actions are either are moving the ball and moving the needle forward, or it is moving it backwards. There is no neutral. Everything counts. Everything produces a consequence, either positive or negative, right or wrong, takes you towards or away from your goals. Period.
It's true that taking action is key. So, Gary, what are the specific things people need to focus on in order to finish the year strong?
Well, as it relates to that, yes. What you need to focus on more than anything else is the things you need to decide exactly what you're going to say yes to, and then you need to basically decide exactly what you're going to say no to. So it really begins there because you've got to set some type of boundaries. So here's what I'm getting at. My belief is you need to work on a small set of goals if you're going to participate in the 100-day challenge. For the simple reason that the program demands focus, and when you start to take on too many tasks and responsibilities and saying yes to everybody, you're dispersing your energies, your time, everything you've got over a broad spectrum. So, like a laser, you need to be able to narrow that focus by saying yes to a small number of things. I'm talking about 1 to 3 versus a whole host of things. So that's a good way of looking at it.
Now, let's talk about the 100-day challenge program. So, tell us, Gary, is it really best to enroll individually or as a family, a team, or maybe an entire company?
Well, the best way to look at it is this. If you go to Vegas, we know when you walk into the place that there's a set of odds that are in play for every single game, whether it's craps, whether it's roulette, or what have you. What we have to do is look at our lives from the standpoint of odds or percentages. How can we stack the deck in our favor? How can we ensure a greater degree, a faster degree of success? And having an additional layer of accountability is a very, very smart move. Because when you have to check in, when you're challenging you against another human being, a family member or an associate or whatever, what you're going to find is you'll hold each other accountable, and as a result of that, you'll have that additional level of competition and accountability built into the whole equation.
It's true that having somebody with you in the program can help boost and motivate you. So tell us who will most and least benefit from participating in the 100-day challenge.
Well, listen, the person who's most going to benefit is the one who wants it the most. At the end of the day, it sounds trite, but the hungriest person always wins. So whoever's got the greatest degree of desire and commitment and dedication. Now, that being said, the other side of the equation, who's not going to benefit? This is a serious program for serious people who want serious results. If people are prone to making excuses, not taking responsibility, blaming others, and just sitting back and sucking their thumb, this program is going to steamroll you fast. So I would advise don't even bother. So you've got to decide if you're going to play to win and you want to make some serious change in your life. This is, without a doubt, the single best program in the world to help you get to where you want to go to fast.
I just want to say that I've used the 100-day challenge myself about 3 years ago, and it really helped me stay focused and reach my business goals. And I was really impressed by the app that I had on my phone, so I was able to get a notification every day to stay focused and take massive actions. So, Gary, can you tell us what is the investment and how can people sign up? And also, is there a deadline for enrollment?
Sure, happy to. As it relates to the investment, listen, it's $177 US. That's it. There's no extra cost, no surprises. So less than $2 a day between now and the end of the year, you're going to have access to the world's best goal setting system and 100 coaching lessons to get you to where you want to go quickly. So, will it be a great value? Yes. Will it require hard work? Without a doubt. Will it take sacrifice and discipline and commitment? Absolutely. You need those things in order to become successful. But if you give this program everything you've got for 100 days and for at a price of $177, I promise you, you will find this to be the best value you've ever experienced in your life. As it relates to signing up, I would imagine that you must have some kind of a direct link you're gonna let people know about. Maybe you want to share it with them right now.
Yes, go to bit.ly/finish strong challenge.
Fantastic.
I will also put the link underneath this interview. Before we end our interview, Gary, do you have some final words or advice our listeners when they get motivated to take action?
You know, there's so many different ways to look at this, but here's the beautiful part about this. This is the way I define a goal. It's a glorious celebration of all that is good and virtuous about the human condition. And if you achieve victory with honor, it is a textbook display of commitment, of focus, of discipline, of consistency, of all that is good and virtuous and just glorious, really, about being a human being. When we start to engage in vices, again, procrastination and all the other things, it really what's happening is, quite frankly, is we're undermining our own reputation with ourselves. So the beautiful part about goal setting is it forces you to bring out your best characteristics, to perform at the best of your game. And in order to live a great life, you need to demonstrate great behaviors. And that's why I love the whole principle of goal setting, everything behind it, and why I absolutely love the importance of a challenge.
Well, thank you very much for being with us, Gary, today. I really appreciate your time and thanks for sharing all these great tips and information with our listeners. I think we covered everything, so I'll let you go. Thank you again, and I wish you a lot of success.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today, for listening to this great interview. My goal is really to bring experts to share really helpful and useful tips that you can implement right away in your life, in your business, and see results as fast as possible. So the key takeaway from all this conversation is the fact that if you want to succeed, it's really first being focused and also taking massive action. So I'm going to ask you again to click on the link below that I'm putting here to sign up to the 100-day challenge and really finish the year strong so that you can start next year as strong as possible, so that you can succeed, achieve your goals and your dreams. Again, click below and go sign up for the 100-day challenge. You owe it to yourself, and you are going to gain so much focus, so much motivation that are going to really completely transform your life and really take you further and make it that you will reach your goals and dreams. And that's what I want for you. So again, just click below and sign up to the 100-day challenge and get back to me with your feedback. You can contact me anytime. Follow me on Twitter. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks again, and I wish you the best. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.